Hi, it's Andy Harrison with American Guitar Academy Music Lessons, and I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the lessons and the lesson method at American Guitar Academy Music Lessons. Just in case you're interested in taking some lessons, you kind of have an overview of what the method's like and what lessons will be like. The learning method has been developed over about 35 years, makes use of a lot of the advances in the neurosciences, and it's designed to help you learn about 8 times faster. Up to 8 times faster than with traditional lessons, and build complete confidence every step of the way. And if you did decide to take lessons with us, it would be a once-a-week 30-minute lesson. We've got several coaches working every day of the week here, so we just pick a day and time that looks great for you. So let's go ahead and get started. So one of the great things about learning with this method, I think, is that you get not only the skills to play the instrument that you've chosen to play, or the instruments. You can choose up to the 5 different instruments that we choose here. Do any combination of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, up to 5 different instruments. You not only get the skills to play anything that you want on that instrument, but you also get what's called a full college level theory course, but done in small little pictures. So even kids as young as 4 years old can understand music at a college level, and beyond that, even their parents can understand music at that level as well. So it's really a great, it's exciting. I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's get started. The first idea, though, is to start out with just what is music? You know, that's really really a question that a lot of people find even weird to answer. But if you had to guess what music is, what would you say it is? Well, we start with a really simple definition. We say music is passing on feelings. Because really, ultimately, your job when you play music is to pass on some kind of feeling to whoever's listening to the music, even if you're the only one who's listening to the music. So we start with that definition, and then the next idea here is that there's 3 elements of music. So basically, any song that you listen to, whatever kind of music it is, there's usually about 3 different sections or parts to the music. You can divide the sound into 3 different parts. We call these the 3 elements of music, and they are. Now I know you've probably heard these terms before, but just kind of seeing them laid out and then how your instrument would fit into this really helps to understand what you're going to be focusing on in your lessons. The first element, and I know you've heard this, is called the melody, right? And that's just the sequence of notes that tells you one song from another song. It's usually the one element that's always different from one song to the next. Now there's a couple exceptions, but usually the melody of a song is unique to that song. And all it is just the notes that tell you what song you're listening to. So if I sing dun 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 dun, what song am I singing? Well, Row, row, row your boat, right? Because we know the melody to that song. So if there's singing in the song, what instrument takes care of the melody? What instrument is in charge of the melody? Well, it's the voice, right? The singing is actually what will handle the melody part of the sound if there's singing in the song. If there's not singing, it could be any number of instruments, right? It could be a piano. Any instrument that can play single notes could handle that melody part. And if there's a part in the song that doesn't have singing, sometimes another instrument will come in and play some melody in the song. The next element of music, or the next part of the sound, are called chords. And all chords are more than one note played at the same time. And the job of chords in the music is to make that melody sound bigger. So there's only a few instruments that can actually play chords all by themselves. And they are, you might have guessed, guitar is one, piano's another instrument that can play chords, and ukulele is another popular instrument right now. Now there are many other instruments that can play chords, but these are the top 3, I would say, most popular instruments right now. And oftentimes if you see a singer that plays another instrument, it's probably going to be one of these instruments, just because they're adding that next element of music. The final element of music is called rhythm, and that just means that the music is going to follow a steady pace. It's going to move along at a steady speed, and everything goes to that steady pace, and that's called a tempo. The main instrument that's in charge of the rhythm is the drums. Now, all the instruments will actually play in rhythm, and even if there's not drums in the song, the music will still have rhythm. Drums is typically the most popular instrument to tie everything together with that rhythm. So if we had a song that didn't have any rhythm, it would go something like dun 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 dun, right? If we don't have rhythm in the music, the feeling's going to get messed up, right? So it's very important for that rhythm and that steady pace to be there. So one more quick idea on the lessons, and that is that there's 3 basic types of feelings that any song you hear will fall into one of these 3 categories of feeling. And they are these kind of songs, there's these kind of songs, and there's these kind of songs. If a song feels like this, if it feels happier or lighter, it's going to be in what's called a major key. Now you might have heard this before, but all that means is that the song passes on a happy or a lighter feeling. If the song feels like this, unhappy, dark, sad, something like that, it's in what's called a minor key. Okay? And if a song sounds somewhere in between happy and sad, it's going to be in what's called the rock or blues keys. Okay? So as you get really good at your music lessons, what you're going to find, we're going to start filling in the details of how to find all your chords and all your notes for any of these types of keys. So pretty soon, as you keep learning, you're going to be able to listen to a song, instantly be able to tell what kind of feeling it's trying to pass on. From there, you're going to instantly know what type of key it is. And then there's actually 12 different versions of the major, 12 different versions of minor, 12 different versions of rock and blues. You'll be able to instantly find which actual key it is, and then where to find all your notes for your melody, where to find all the chords for the song, and how to play that on your instrument. You're also going to learn all about the main rhythms. So basically becoming an expert at music is becoming an expert at these 3 elements, and that's what we're going to do in your music lessons. One other quick thing here about developing the skills on your instrument. There's a 3-step learning process that we help walk you through. There's basically 3 phases of learning, if you want to think of it that way. The first phase is just to memorize what to do. And if you remember this formula, this will really help to so you know what to do in your lessons. The 3 times gets it in your mind. That's the first step. So whatever it is to do, if you can get 3 or more correct repetitions, it'll be easy to remember it. The next phase, phase 2, is where with each new skill that you learn, we want to get 100 correct repetitions, and that's going to make sure that it's a habit that you'll have for the rest of your life. So with each new skill that you learn, we break it down into the smallest steps, so you're going to learn 1 skill at a time. And for each skill, we give you something called a skill mastering chart that looks something like this. It looks a lot better than this, but this is the idea. So there's supposed to be 10 squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's something like this. And for each new skill that you learn, we're going to take blocks of 10 correct repetitions and walk you through exactly how to place your hands on the instrument, whatever instrument it is, and walk you through getting correct repetitions, quick blocks of 10 correct repetitions. For each block of 10 correct repetitions, you're going to keep track by putting an X on your skill mastering chart. In each lesson, we're going to get about maybe the first 3 blocks done with you in the lesson, just so you know what a correct repetition is, and you actually have almost, about 30% of them already finished. So when you go home, we know that you're going to be doing it correctly every single time. And then your job at home is going to be just simply to finish the rest of the repetitions. And the homework is really designed to take about 10 minutes or less for 5 days a week only. So it's not a huge time investment, and we can guarantee you're going to be, every skill that you learn is going to become a habit, most likely for the rest of your life, just because you're getting the correct number of repetitions in. That's going to help you to do that. The final phase is called phase 3, and that's over time, over the next few years, even beyond the lessons that you have here with us. if you get 1,000 correct repetitions on any skill, whatever it is, you can become a complete expert at it. Okay, you really get 1,000 correct repetitions on just about any skill. It's going to guarantee you're going to be better than most people in the world at it. It's just the way it works. So we give you something called a phase 3 chart. So for all the skills that you've gotten your 100 correct repetitions on, we give you something called a phase 3 chart. Can't spell it, but it's just a list of all those items that you've gotten your 100 correct repetitions on. And we just ask you to play through that once a day before launching into the next skill that you're learning for that week. And over time, what that'll do is just a quick little run through of that list. It takes about 5 minutes or less. Over time, even in about 3 or 4 years, you could get your 1,000 correct repetitions in and become a complete expert at everything that you're learning in your music lessons. So the idea here is to focus on how to make it easier and have more fun. So you can focus on how to relax your muscles more and have more fun getting those repetitions in. So these are the 3 phases that will guarantee that you're going to learn up to 8 times faster. You'll be building confidence every step of the way. And over time, you can become a complete expert at anything that you want in these music lessons and beyond. So anyway, there's a quick overview of how the lessons work. There's a conceptual component, like again, you're going to get really all the details to play any kind of music that you want, plus you're going to get a full understanding of how all of music works together while you're doing that as well. So if you're excited about taking some lessons, you can go ahead and click the link for whatever offer is going on right now. Check out what we have, and we'd be excited to work with you in your own music lessons. Thanks for watching.